And welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in for our post-match reaction show. If you're new around here, want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool and get involved with your fellow Reds around the world, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below and get involved in every single video, post-match, pre-match shows as well. Liverpool suffered another defeat, which is absolutely mad. I just started laughing at the end of that game, everyone, because I was like, what have I just watched? I was like, wow. Like 3-1, we looked like it was the same 1-0 all day. And then Jamie, I can't even comprehend or get as many words out of the dictionary that I could to describe that game because it was an absolute joke. It's like watching some of the schoolboy defenders at the back. I was like, the defending this season couldn't have got worse. But you've got to be positive, and I know that's how I'm dealing with it. I'm just laughing at it. That's all you can do. Well, thank you everyone for getting involved. Calvin, very disappointing yet again, mate. And I've got me mate. Good mate, but yeah, he's done his post-match. He's a Leicester fan. I'll drop it in a little second, Reds. But I'm joined in today's episode. Won't keep it too long, Connor, because I think you, deeply disappointing, really, isn't it, mate? Thank you for coming on. That's my reaction to it, just laughing at it. Like.
I think you got to. Is there anything on my desk I could throw that just sums up my like frustration of that game? Just everything. I just want to. I'm angry. I'm angry and disappointed.
You make me angry, girl. Yeah, but hopefully every single one of you are keeping safe and well, Red. So we'll get straight into Anthony's post-match show anyway. Steve, as he said, absolutely speechless. Yeah, it was very surprising, but we'll get straight into Anthony's. Good mate, Boya. I'll leave his link into his channel anyway. Connor introduced me. He's a massive Leicester City fan. Make sure you do head over to his channel. I think he will have a post-match video coming up after the game, but as you would expect, he's hugely impressed. And if there's any Foxes out there anyway watching the post-match reaction anyway, great result for you. So I think Brendan Rodgers, that's the first win over Liverpool since 2013, is it? 2013, 14?
2012.
2012, yeah, it's been hugely impressive. They've been hugely impressive, like a side like Leicester, Aston Villa as well. Liverpool went into this game expecting a very difficult game, but I think 78 minutes in, Liverpool got into the game. Looked like it was a very good result. And then, we'll get straight into Boy's post-match now, everyone. But with me. Cheers, Anthony, if you're watching. Appreciate it, miss.
I'm absolutely buzzing. Cheers, Jack, for having me on this. But I know that was an absolutely dog performance for 83 minutes, but those last 7 minutes, absolutely brilliant. We managed to stay in there. To be honest, on another day we lose that game. You take your chances, we lose that game, but you didn't. We stuck in there. Barnes getting that goal. Maddison didn't have the impact on the game you wanted, but those, like that free kick again, it looked like it was more a ball into a box. It snuck into the corner, and from there we really sort of, I don't know why it took us so long to start playing, but once we got that first goal, there seemed to be a huge amount of belief, and then obviously there was that sort of the coming together between Kabak and Alisson. It's going to be difficult for Kabak. He's coming into a team that he's never played with some players that he's never played with. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult for him. He's a young player, but he'll learn from that. But obviously, the one man you probably don't want chasing down a ball like that when there's a mix-up from a keeper and a centre-back is Vardy, and he was there scoring, putting us 2-1 up. And to be honest, I'm absolutely buzzing. You probably tell that. But for us now, it's about carrying this momentum on. We've got Villa next week, huge game for us. So for us, it's about sort of carrying this momentum forward. I know for you guys, probably massively frustrating. You had enough chances to win the game, but it's one of those. You're going through a bit of a sticky period at the moment. I'm sure you'll come out with it, but yeah, you just got to sort of keep doing what you do. Well, probably not what you're doing at the moment, but try and get back to where you are at the moment. But Jack will give you enough of a Liverpool insight. To be honest, at the moment, I couldn't care less. I'm just happy that we've got all 3 points. Obviously, over the last couple of years, we've taken some right beatings from Liverpool. So to get 3 points, absolutely buzzing. Move on to Europa League on Thursday. Villa on next Sunday, I think it is. Come on, the Foxes.
Absolutely spot on there, Anthony. Thank you very much for doing that, mate, if you're watching. Best of luck for you in Europa League. I think Rodgers has got it absolutely flying. And Connor, make sure you head over to Connor's channel as well. Leave the link to his channel in the description as well. So, Connor, it's boys said it there, mate. It was even he admitted Leicester didn't start well. Took a while for them really to grow into the game. It was just it was yet again. And before I come on to a live stream, I think just Liverpool, like any of you see your mate struggling or individually, you think that you're not performing. They do miss our fans, don't they, in the stadium? We know, but I think for me, and off the back of last week, so I was absolutely raging, but there's nothing much we can do. I know I don't want to be too positive. Yes, we are playing bad, but for what this side has done over the last 2-3 years, don't not forget that. I think it's about time we just need to just get behind them. I know we can't in the ground really, mate, but it just they're playing through obviously a tricky period, and you can see themselves. Ali, that's how it's taken Liverpool back now, mate. You've got Alisson making mistakes, and that hasn't happened since he's come to the football club.
Yeah, it's taken 3 years for us to just completely disappear to what we've been used to. It's Anthony said there, Leicester were very lucky. I don't think Leicester beat us today, in my opinion. I think Liverpool beat themselves, because the game should have been done and dusted by the 83rd minute. We shouldn't even be talking about Liverpool scoring 1 goal. It should have been more by that time. And it's like Leicester have always done with Jamie Vardy, taking the opportunities where they are. I don't think many of us would have said that, say 60 minutes into the game we would have lost 3-1 today, and we're talking now 3-1, yet another defeat, shocking defensively. Ali making a mistake, third now in 2 games. Alisson's he's going to get criticism from this game. He is, because of it's a woeful mistake. It is, but like we said last week, without him, we would be in a lot more trouble than we have been over the last couple of weeks. Yes, why is he there when Kabak is fully in control of the situation? I don't know. I wouldn't have said so much if Kabak wasn't there, but it's just frustration. That's the only way I can describe this performance. It's just pure frustration, and it comes to this stage now to go, well, what else do Liverpool have to do to actually win a game of football? Because we've played brilliantly for 80 plus minutes and we've ended up losing the game. How?
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, mate. I think that's pure frustration from the players as well. And I think that's evident through the way in which they've played over the last couple of weeks anyway, really, in terms of distribution from the back. And you could see the disappointed like us. Even the players themselves are absolutely fuming. Davis got injured in the build-up as well, didn't he? I think obviously a slight knock, which was a really big disappointment. But Leicester knew their game plan, and we could tell from the first 10 minutes. Every time we've played Leicester, it's always get the ball over the top and expose Liverpool's defensively lack of pace at the back. And for that third goal, it was like all our defenders were stuck in mud. But that's Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes didn't quite get the equaliser today, but yeah, it was a great goal by him, and obviously the second goal by Vardy. It was as Ant mentioned, it was a calamity of errors. Yes, I think the whole defensive unit and Henson, he just ran out of legs for that third goal. But let's talk about the Liverpool's opener. One bit of positive really coming from the game, if you can pick out, it was a fantastic individual flick by Bobby Firmino, and I was like, "Oh yes, Bobby!" Well, that was absolutely naughty.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was Liverpool of last season, the last 3 seasons. Bobby doing his silky touches and just Mo finishing off beautifully. It was a well worked goal that was fully deserved. I think, but like Bobby, I think, the whole midfield and front 3, I think they had a good game, up to, a certain point. I can't really, Mo maybe in the first half should have finished off his chances. I think there was one opportunity with, I think, Trent putting a ball through, which, he should have maybe finished a bit better. But it wasn't it? It was just the best thing that now we can talk about this game, and the highlight, to be fair. But yeah, another goal for Mo, pushing up his, golden boot record. We could end up being outside the top 4. And
where would he be out without his goals, mate? That was a scary point.
Well, we'd be 6th or 8th at the minute, the way we're playing. That's how shocking we've been this season, to be fair. But yeah, like you said, it is the only positive we can take from this, because there isn't much else we can take from it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely raging. But at the end of the day, get behind our lad to say to everyone, yes, it's a game of 40. We want to win. We go into game expecting to win every single football game. And there's not much me, you, everyone at home can do, really. It's up to the lads. And I think it was the manner in which we collapsed today. I think, mate, we learned. I think Jurgen Klopp would have learned a lot from this Liverpool side this season. Well, especially today. He'll be deeply disappointed, obviously, what's thought with Jurgen. As we said, the news broke about his mum. But it's all about them as a family getting together. Jurgen Klopp and his players, they're like his sons, really. He's spoken about that over the last couple of years. But I think this is like the first period, really, Liverpool have had that Everton's been absolutely flying now. And yes, Liverpool have had a little tiny blips, but not to this extent. And it's the club, the owners, the fans, everyone get behind this, man, because I would not want any other manager in world football. You could throw anyone other than Jurgen Klopp running Liverpool Football Club at this moment. And any aspect of him nonsense that I see on Twitter, I'm not going to rise to it, and neither should you. But Jurgen Klopp, he will get us back to winning ways. And I think, obviously, it's frustrating that Liverpool have got injuries, but as in every other side, it's just about playing through this period. Yes, we heavily miss leadership at the back. Yeah, we have Henderson, but he's not a centre-back, is he, everyone? And obviously, Fabinho was a massive miss yet again. But you've got to move on, and we go week by week, mate. Yashir, Liverpool playing Europa League next season. I think we've got to get our act together, mate. We definitely do need to get our act together. But I think, would it be wrong for Liverpool, and could they potentially look at the Champions League? But I'd say if we play like this, like we have done as opener, we have done Connor against RB Leipzig, I think we've just surely got to focus on the Premier League, really, now, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's I think the norm has been top 4, for the last couple of seasons. If it's a must for Liverpool if we want to, go forward, really. But I think Champions League is probably going to be the focus now. I think, of course, we've got Leipzig midweek, and I think that now has to be the priority, especially if we want to win anything. But I think the main focus is at least get top 4. I think that is the minimum now. Of course, there's no chance in hell that we're going to win the title. That's miles gone. Second is probably the best bet that we can get, but that looks like a distant memory at the minute. But yeah, I would say minimum top 4, get that, and then Champions League. But the way we are playing at the minute, Champions League, I think we can say goodbye to that at the moment.
Could get exciting, couldn't it?
Yeah, but that is it for Liverpool. I think the Champions League will be the one thing I think Jurgen will look towards and go, yeah, that we might have to go all out for this. And if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But to be fair, I think that's a must, at least anyway, that we do have to go now and look at the Champions League.
Yeah, most definitely, mate. We just got to I think Jamie Vardy had a couple of great chances. He did, mate. It could have been. And Kabak, he played very well tonight, mate, and everyone at home. I felt, yes, the mix-up with Alisson, it's his first game into a new league, into a new language, and I felt it was, given it a couple of weeks, it'll get used to Alisson, and the communication will be a lot better. 17th defensive partnership Liverpool have had this season. 17th. Absolutely, frankly ridiculous, that, mate.
No one else has ever had this problem before. And like every single rival fan would just call it excuses, but you go through probably Premier League history and look at it and go, there is probably no other team that's had to field 17 centre-back pairings between, and we're not even, we're just over halfway, in the Premier League. It's shocking, but rival fans would just say, "Oh, that's just an excuse." It's not an excuse. No other team in history's had to do this before.
Yeah, absolutely shambolic performance and not protecting Alisson this time. He's to blame for the second goal. Headless chicken, can't blame the back at all. Yeah, Chris, we've spoken about Alisson, mate, and I think, as I said, just get behind our lads every single one of his rounds the world. We can't do nothing, but I think this Liverpool side, blatantly obviously going through a tricky moment, but you'll never walk alone. Just get behind them, boys. And yes, Liverpool, we all want Liverpool to win football games, but sometimes it's not as easy. And this season, frankly, Villa, I've been massively impressed with. Leicester, I knew this was going to be a tricky game. I've been massively impressed with what Rodgers is doing. And obviously, the Everton, I know we laugh and joke anyway, but it's not nice to see them win games. But Ancelotti, he's a world-class manager and he's got them ticking over. I know our mate Tom, he's a massive blue. He's probably laughing his head off right now. But we'll go straight on the Martino. Jack, the referee stole our game. I think we stole our game from ourselves, mate. I think Salah, Mane, the lads up front, the midfield players, we had enough chances to at least get a draw out of that game. At the time, Salah was one-on-one with Schmeichel, who had a great save that was offside, but a great save to his right-hand post anyway. But yeah, we had enough chances in that game, mate. A nice one for your comment, Lar. Why is no one shouting at Alisson stay on his line? It's communication, mate, Chris, in it, and it's like anything. It's psychologically that second, as soon as we conceded that goal, our heads went. We laughed at Barca when they come to Anfield and absolutely bottled it. Football is a psychological game as well as it is mentally. Half the battle is won in your head and your mind, really. As soon as you step in that pitch, and we've all done it, whatever walk of life, really, if you do anything.
Well, we talked about, I think it was after, might have been the Brighton defeat or the Burnley defeat, and Jurgen spoke about the players being mentally fatigued, and we were all like, maybe it's just Jurgen, saying it as, it is as, but it's like, at the end of the day, I think he meant it now. There is something wrong at the minute with Liverpool, and it's not, we all could have, like last season, we could have looked at the game being 1-0 up and we could have gone, yep, game done and dusted. Over the last even 2 years, we could have gone game done and dusted at 1-0, and this season we've just completely fallen apart. That's the simplicity of it. I think this season has fully just taken over with no crowd, having a crowd, then them being put back out, and just everything just being just thrown up in the air all season long. And I don't think that's helped us at all this year.
Everything that's gone wrong could have gone wrong, really, animates, obviously. Yeah. And I think, like City last season, Laporte, one player got injured and their whole season went to tatters. We were like 20-odd points clear of them. So it's not just Liverpool. Talk about obviously Manchester United's. What year was that when Ferdinand got injured? We were speaking about it this week.
2003.
Yeah, when he got injured, they were leading heavily in the league, and then they bottled it. Great sides and entitled defences have bottled commanding leads anyway. But stay. I'm just hoping FSG sorts out in the summer, clear the deadwood. Most definitely stay. And I think in the coming weeks, I think a lot of eyes, especially however this season does end, looked at Liverpool's bench. And I think Leicester had a miles better bench yet again. Origi wasn't on the bench tonight, was he? Obviously, we only had, attacking wise, was Thiago possibly and Chamber. They come on, and Shaqiri, and then you're looking at defenders and youngsters, really. There's no Origi's, no attacking players, really, which is very surprising. But Liverpool had no attacking options if the game today went west, and it got to like the 80th minute, found ourselves a couple of goals down anyway. It got to 2-1. You're like, in good teams, you're like, right, who's to come on there now? But Liverpool, frankly, didn't have anything to come off the bench, really, with that. Top 4 or die. most definitely, mate. No, it's focus on the Champions League and focus on top 4, but it will be interesting to see what Liverpool do focus on, because I don't want Liverpool, and it's important that we don't get caught up on the Champions League and then get
Europa League. Yeah, we don't want Europa League football. Like that's the thing. We don't want Europa League.
Yeah, get knocked out of the Champions League, and then you're left in 6th or 7th or possibly 8th. But yeah. Would Klopp be under pressure if top 4 this year, Steve? Yes, he would be under pressure, but I wouldn't want any, as I said at the top of the show, Steve, I would not want any other manager in world football currently that we have got in Jurgen Klopp. Just get behind him. And this has been a tricky season, not just for Liverpool, mate, and it's been a tricky season for every single one of us. But like any manager, they'd be under pressure. But I tell you, he needs backing in the summer and just needs transfers. He needs more players. We just mentioned the bench there. There was no one on the bench.
There'll be a massive squad rotation in the summer. Origi will be gone. Hopefully we'll bring in, a striker. Daka has been talked about. Genie will probably leave. Because of this week, it's been said that, he is definitely going now, which, I think that's another thing that's probably on the player's mind as well, is the, disturbance of that contract situation. And, I think Jurgen will definitely try and keep up now the centre-back, situation. We don't want it to be again.
Yeah, that'll be the top priority, getting a world-class centre-back in now. And you never know, we've spoken about over the last couple of weeks how the reaction of Gomez will be. And the reaction of Van Dijk, who's to say they will come back to peak fitness? Fingers crossed they all do, but they've had some terrible injuries, and you never know how players will react when they come back from injuries. You go through Liverpool's history. I don't think Torres ever recovered from his hammies when he left anyway. Certain players, but yeah. The 1892 Reds podcast, make sure you do head over to the lads channel, new up and coming channel. Had Ricky and the lads coming on anyway over the last couple of weeks. But make sure you do head over there. Subscribe to Connor from the TheKopCouncil as well. Absolute legends. But yeah, spot on there, boys. Absolutely devastated. Done well for an hour. Bring Curtis Jones off, change the game. Yeah. You never know. I think Curtis, I want him to stay on, but that's what happens. You disrupt the momentum within a game of football. I never understand it, but you have to do it because obviously the lads have been working so hard, and the press was so good today up until like the 80th minute, and Liverpool conceded a goal. Excuse me. If you like Benny Hill's writing our scripts, we defy logic every game and leave them laughing in the aisles. No, I don't know if you see my introduction to this live stream, mate, but I just started laughing because that's the only way you can describe it. Leicester clinical, spot on there, boys. Done well for an hour, brought on Ox and took off Jones, who was our best player in the midfield, and Leicester took advantage. Very much agree with that, La. Honestly, if people think we can easily beat Leipzig and Everton, it's a reality check. We are in a bad moment. Top 4 is going to be so tight now. I tell you, if Everton don't beat us the way we've been playing, they'll never beat us anyway. Yeah. The lads live at 7:30, so make sure you head over there and subscribe. KP Reds, things will get worse before they get better. We've just got to support them through this. KP Reds, absolutely spot on there, mate. And I said that at the top of the show. It's a tricky period, and the first tricky period that Jurgen Klopp has really had to deal with at Liverpool. But as I said, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans around the world will echo it, we don't want any other man in world football other than Jurgen Klopp. Get behind the lads. There's not much we can do, but we believe in this squad, and yeah, and Dave, Jesus Christ, lads, yeah, that just sums up. I think that's what all of us were saying. Manu, fellas, Thiago isn't a Liverpool type player. Too slow and can't press or tackle. Fabinho is a massive miss. Nice one for dropping on the channel, mate. I really do appreciate being a sensible some opposition supporting red, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, and I think Herbert, I think if you look at Man United and Liverpool and Barcelona's, Leicester's, and even Cities, when they don't have their main midfielders, I think Liverpool, it's so obvious. Every single Liverpool fan around the world has been saying we need Thiago, Henderson, and Fabinho in that midfield, because I think that would be our favoured midfield three. Possibly a fit Naby Keita you could throw in there. I think bringing him back will be a massive plus for Liverpool in the going forward. But yeah, it's do we cater to the back line? But I think is Jurgen Klopp seeing something that we're not seeing at the back currently? That's why he just keeps on putting Henderson back there. Is it the communication aspect that we need Henderson back there? We've seen how good Van Dijk is, marshalling that back line, Gomez even to a certain point, and Matip. Those three, you'd say, are the leaders of that defensive unit. And you've seen Alisson make mistakes, Trent making mistakes, Robinson making mistakes. We do miss that leader. And like we said, Laporte, when he was missing for City last season, and Company when Manchester City were going for titles, they've missed leaders as well, mate. But we are on our knees. Enough is enough. No more crap. That team has to get it together and stabilise North. Yeah, they will do, mate. And I believe, and I think every single one of us do believe in this Liverpool squad. And we just got to get behind them. Yes, it's frustrating, not more frustrating seeing Liverpool lose games of fuzzy, but we'll go again. But Connor, thank you very much for coming on, mate. You got a live stream coming up now, haven't you? So make sure you do head over to the TheKopCouncil. I think we will be discussing every aspect of the game, mate. But I really do appreciate coming on today, mate.
Absolute pleasure. If you want a more angry version, come over to my channel. We'll start going again angry in that. But no, thank you for having me on, mate. Even though I think both of us really just don't want to make videos about this shitty game today. Yeah, no, I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in as well after the post-match. Try and enjoy your weekends. Hopefully a couple of results do go our way. It's the only thing that we can hope for now, really. But Reds, we do appreciate every single one of you. And Anthony at the top of the show, dropping his post-match reaction from a Leicester point of view as well. It's great to get his thoughts. If you like today's show, make sure you do drop a like on the video. Head over, subscribe to my channel, Jack McLFC, that we're on now, and then obviously Connor from the TheKopCouncil, Dave LFC chats as well. Make sure you do head over to the 1892 Reds podcast. They're live at 7:30 tonight. So Reds, whole lot of Liverpool content, and just try and enjoy your weekend. So as I said, hopefully a couple of results do go our way, but keep safe and well, Reds, and shout out to all the key workers and NHS staff going about their daily day anyway. Real heroes. And you'll never walk alone, Reds. See you later, Connor, and see you later, Reds. Absolutely appreciate every single one of your support, and you'll never walk alone. Chilla.